Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm just going to go through everything you need to carve a bit of opal. So I want to cover absolutely everything. I'll show off the tools that I use first, but then I'll also show off some alternatives that might be a bit more budget friendly, or they might just be easy to get in your local area depending on when you live. So this is my current set of 10 Sintered Diamond Burs. Now I also have this set of Sintered Diamond Burs, and you see here the little black stripe on all of them. This is for days when I'm just sitting there rubbing back a lot of crust off opals. So these are all about 80 grit if you're using the US standard. So about 80 grit, it's literally just getting rid of any rubbish just so that it's a better starting point for a video, or just I'm manually processing a whole heap of stuff. But this set is the one that I would recommend most people to get. We do have a couple of the 80s, they're all a little bit smaller, so a couple of the 80s, but it goes all the way up to about 600 US. So it's not too bad. It's fairly versatile kit, a whole heap of different shapes. You won't always use every single one. So if you've got a rough piece, if I just grab an example over here, if you've got a rough piece like this, it's fairly rough. There's a lot of stuff that you really want to get rid of, and you want to get rid of it quick. You're not going to harm the color bar at all. You start all the way down here at the 80s, and you just burn straight through it. If, however, you're starting to get a little bit of crust, kind of like a piece like this, you've only got a little bit of crust that you want to get rid of, and you can see there the colour's starting to peek through in some areas. You might actually want to pull back and start here with the reds, and then once you're close to that colour bar you want to go over here. Every now and then I'll go from black to maybe red to yellow, but sometimes I'll just go from green, red, yellow, blue, red, yellow, or sometimes you just go straight yellow or red, yellow. So it all depends on the stone and the amount of material you really need to get rid of, the amount of rubbish. Now an alternative to using something like this is getting a set of Electroplated Burs. So that's more like this set here. Much cheaper, but the lifetime on a set like this, I'm estimating to be about 100 years, because I'm not even wearing mine and I use them every day almost, so they last forever. These, however, I've got heaps of these that are completely worn out, and a couple that have still got a little bit of grit, and a couple that I just haven't used at all because it comes in a 50 pack, and some of the shapes are kind of useless for the kind of stuff that I do when it comes to opal carving. Things like this kind of shape are a little bit hard to use, kind of like an inverted cone. But all in all, it was a great place to start, and I'm glad I got them. They're only like 20 bucks or something. You can get them for even less. It's yeah, very good. Whereas the sintered diamonds are much better, for sure much better, but they are a lot more expensive as well. This is the set that I sell and get manufactured in China, so these I sell for about 70 bucks. Though the manufacturing costs have gone up, but I'm refusing to raise the price, so if you can get them for 70 or less, go for it. Same with these ones. These ones you can actually get a bit cheaper because it's all just one grit, but most of you probably won't need these. You can tell here by the ironstone staining that I use these mostly to just carve back huge amounts of boulder opal. So just rubbing back boulder opal is what these are normally for, and I try to clean them as best as I can, but this one gets used a hell of a lot. And it's like brand new. So the second commonly used tool for me are these. So these are the Diamond Pacific Nova points, Nova resin carving points, and I've got them here from 280 up to 3000. Now this is commonly sold as a set of 4, and it's kind of the sweet spot for opal. You don't really need to venture past this. They do have ones that are way lower. I've got one just here off the side of the camera. So this is their lowest one. This is a green, a 60 grit. And they've got one in between, a 140 grit as well. But I don't typically advise people get them or use them. I'm sure they could be useful, but I think by the time you've gone through the sintered burs, the 280 is a great spot to start. So 280 is a must. 600, a must. 1200 is a must. The 3000 is a little bit optional. Sometimes you can go straight for the next stage, which is the polishing powder, but I like to use the 3000. If I'm on a set of wheels, I don't like to use the 3000. I feel like it doesn't do a lot. The 1200 in the wheels is pretty good, but when you're carving, I think the 3000 is quite useful. Then there's another one at 8000, 14,000 and 50,000, but I haven't actually used those ones before. I think I've tried the 8,000, but not the 14 or 50,000. and they might be able to get you a full polish on something like ironstone. So I am looking to get some, and I will report back when I've tried them. Now, a common alternative for Nova Points, because Nova Points are quite pricey. I've been selling sets. If you're in the US, you get them much cheaper, but I've been selling sets for like $60, $70 for the set of 4. So they are quite pricey, but they do get a great result. The other alternative is to just do this, using sandpapers. You want to go as high as you can. I would advise going to at least 3,000, if not 5,000, 7,000, which typically you can buy the lower grits at your local hardware store. The higher grit, you might have to go to like an automotive store to get it. They use it for various polishing applications there, so you might be able to get it there. Otherwise, you can get kits of this online. I'll have links and stuff in the description anyway, if you want to get an idea of what I'm talking about. But there are kits online that you can buy, and they are quite useful. So I have them anyway, because every now and then I do like to use them for various purposes, as you'll see on the channel. And then we get to stage 3 of your opal cutting journey, and that is polishing. Now, polishing powders, there's so many to choose from. This one here is the Blacklighter Secret Polish, which I've been using mostly now because it's just performing so well. But any kind of metal oxide, cerium oxide, aluminium oxide, tin oxide, very commonly used, all 3 of those. They've got different price points, and to be honest, cerium oxide will get the job done, and it is quite cheap. So I would always recommend going for a decent grade cerium oxide, at least optical grade or above. Now, the other key alternative when it comes to polishing is to go with the good old diamond paste. A very good method, nothing wrong with it at all. The only thing I don't like about it is just cleaning between grits. You don't want to contaminate anything, otherwise you'll end up putting in scuff marks that you're not going to be able to get rid of, and you'll wonder why your polish isn't performing as well as it should. Whereas with the polishing powder like this, mix it up with a little bit of water and you've just got one polishing step to do. You just have to use it for a while with a felt burr. If I've got really small areas in opal, I actually don't have any felt burrs that can get in there with the cerium oxide or polishing powder. So I use these on basically a toothpick. I would have shown it in a few videos. Otherwise, if you search the term toothpick on my channel, you'll come across it. And I'll actually mount a toothpick into my Dremel rotary tool. Basically, just apply a little bit of diamond paste on it, and that's it. That'll get you a polish in the tiniest of cracks. You can even get a knife and just shave down the sides of this to get it even finer. And a toothpick will work absolute wonders. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out one of those videos. I'll probably post one in the description as well to make it easier to find for you. And yeah, that's really about it. So just to recap, this is my go-to. So Sintered Diamond Burs, Nova Points, Sintered Diamond from 80 to 600 odd. You won't always use that full range, but depending on your stone, you'll want to start pretty coarse and go pretty fine by the end. And then your Nova set, so 280 through to 3000. Load them up in your flex shaft, pendant motor, whatever you've got that spins these things, and you are good to go. And of course, yeah, there are alternatives out there, but this is my go-to. The alternatives might be your only option in terms of budget or accessibility, and in that case, go for it. You'll still get the same result if you spend the time on it, and yeah, you'll get good at it and you'll have nothing but gems at the end. So good luck everyone. Hopefully that explains it to anyone thinking about getting in, or those that are in and are thinking about changing the tools they use. I've given you more options, so have fun, most importantly, be safe, and yeah, let me know how you go.